Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my favorite topic, gut health. And specifically in today's video, I wanted to share with you 3 steps that you can start doing in order to really figure out some of those digestive issues that you may be experiencing. Now, if you've been following me on my Instagram or if you've watched any of my previous YouTube videos, you probably know that I've had my fair share of gut and health issues. And before healing my gut, I used to basically look pregnant all the time from how bloated I used to be. I'll put a picture here on the side just so that you can see how bloated, puffy, and inflamed my stomach looked. Not only did I feel uncomfortable a lot of the time, I would also have to figure out the types of outfits that I would want to wear during the day because I wanted to hide how bloated I felt and looked in front of other people. But along with the bloating that I felt, I had really high stress and anxiety levels, my hormones were all over the place, and I had experienced quite a bit of weight gain. So I know exactly the way that you're feeling if you are experiencing any of the issues that I just mentioned. And I know that there is a lot of information out there, and I know that it can get confusing, and that's exactly why I wanted to create this video for you today. Now, I know I've mentioned this on my Instagram, but I don't think I've mentioned it on my YouTube channel yet. But starting in September, I will be working towards becoming a nutritional therapy practitioner, NTP for short. And through that program and what I learned in it, I'm going to be able to help women on a deeper level. And my goal is to help women heal their guts, have easier periods, and maintain a healthy weight. I am just honestly so excited for it to begin. So the 3 steps that I'm going to share with you today are definitely going to help, but please keep in mind that if there is a deeper issue going on, it's going to be so important that you work with an NTP yourself. And just as a side note, if you are experiencing any hormone issues and you feel like hormone support is the place that you need to start first, I highly recommend that you look into digestion and gut health instead, because hormones are just a reflection of what's going on internally. And when you address digestion and gut health first, you can possibly be saving yourself a lot of time, energy, and money. And the reason I say this is because when our gut health is off and we aren't digesting the food that we're eating, we can't absorb all these amazing benefits that are coming from our food. And in order to create our sex hormones, we need to be able to be digesting fat properly. So I will leave an article linked down below in the description that talks about what comes first, the gut or the hormones. And I think that you'll find that very eye-opening, especially as you continue on with this journey. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the 3 steps that you can start taking in order to address some of your digestive issues. All right, none of these steps are in any particular order, but the first place that we'd want to take a look at is diet, especially things like gluten, dairy, and inflammatory oils. When it comes to the topic of gluten, things can get a little sticky. No pun intended, because there are people who say that they feel perfectly fine eating gluten, and then there are also people out there that say that one would greatly benefit from a gluten-free diet. And I actually have a book on my list to read more on this topic because I definitely want to learn more about it, and I highly encourage you to do the same as well. At the end of the day, it is your decision to do what you want with your health and the food that you eat. But perhaps if you are experiencing issues, try eliminating gluten for 30 days and see how that feels. Because sometimes when you have been experiencing these issues for a couple of years, maybe your entire life, all of these things can feel so normal for you. And you won't truly know how amazing you can feel when you eliminate something like gluten. And as far as dairy goes, yes, you may be reacting to the dairy. But I want to more so ask you this question. What's the quality of the dairy that you're eating? Is it organic? Is it pasture raised? Is it grass fed? Or is it conventional dairy? And is that cow that is producing this dairy, are they eating a natural diet or are they eating an inflammatory diet? And then we in turn are eating those dairy products and it's creating all these issues for us. Before I healed my gut, I would not do well with dairy. But I still ate it because I loved cheese so much, but I would end up with being bloated, super gassy, and I would break out the very next day. But I was eating all this conventional dairy. And so after healing my gut, I can now eat dairy, but I eat better quality sources of dairy. So I make sure that it's organic, pasture raised, grass fed. So quality definitely matters when it comes to your dairy products. Okay, let's talk about inflammatory oils now, because if there is anything that you get from watching today's video, please let this be one of those things. Inflammatory oils are literally everywhere nowadays, and these oils are not so healthy for us. So by removing them, it's gonna be so helpful in your health and wellness journey. So these unhealthy oils are going to include oils like canola oil, corn oil, cottonseed, and soybean vegetable oil. And so now you're probably wondering, okay, well, what are examples of healthy oils that we should be including? And these are going to include things like avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, butter, but remember we want to have a quality butter source, ghee, beef tallow, and duck fat. And don't worry, I will leave a link in the description that gives you this nice little snapshot of all of these oils that are healthy and unhealthy for us. And that link is going to be from the Nutritional Therapy Association, which is that program that I mentioned that I was going to be starting earlier in September. So be sure to check that link out when it comes to healthy fat sources. The second step that you can start looking into if you want to address some of these digestive issues that you may be experiencing is stomach acid. I have learned so much about stomach acid in this book that I ordered on Amazon. It's called Why Stomach Acid is Good for You: Natural Relief for Heartburn, Indigestion, Reflux, and GERD. I will leave it linked down below in the description if you do want to check it out for yourself. But stomach acid is so incredibly important. And when we don't have enough stomach acid, it really is hard for the body to send all the proper signals that it needs to in order to digest and absorb our food properly. The stomach actually needs to be really acidic in order to do this. And our stomach acid is the first line of defense when it comes to things like pathogens, bacteria, parasites, etc. It is pretty important. And when our stomach acid is low, we can experience things like bloating, gas, burping, heartburn, indigestion, and then there is a long list in this book of other health conditions and symptoms that include acne and eczema, diarrhea and constipation, asthma, allergies, depression, and the list goes on. So I thought that it would be a really good idea to make a separate video next week and talk about some of the natural ways that we can increase our stomach acid in order to be able to help with this digestion and absorption of our food. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so that you don't miss next week's video. And the final step is to start paying attention to the ingredient label. I am sure you saw that one coming. It's just so important to eat real food and not food that looks like it's a science experiment. And we have no idea what it's doing to our body, what it's doing to our health. And I'm not going to talk about every single ingredient out there that we should be aware of, because that could literally take hours. And I think it'll be more beneficial to watch my previous videos that I've done here on my channel. I've done healthy grocery haul videos and I've done healthy food swap videos. And in those healthy food swap videos, I give a ton of swaps. It's a 4-part mini series and there is a total of 73 food swaps that I give you. So I give you food swaps for breakfast and brunch, lunch and dinner, sweet treats, and savory snacks. So I will leave those videos linked down below if you do want to check those out. And I just want to end this video by saying that I completely understand where you're coming from when you say that eating healthy is expensive, because yes, it can be expensive. However, how much is it costing you to not eat healthy? Aside from the medical bills that you may encounter in the future, is it costing you your health? Is it costing you your energy? how are your periods? How is your skin? How are you showing up with your loved ones? How are those relationships? Because you can't fully give them the best and the healthiest version of yourself without taking care of yourself first. And here's the thing, you do not have to do a complete 180, you know, from today to tomorrow when it comes to your health and wellness. You do not have to do that. But every single step counts. And as long as you take that step towards your health and wellness, it is just going to add up. And maybe right now it's a matter of just swapping out those inflammatory oils that I talked about earlier. Maybe that's your first step. The important thing here is that you take that step in order to become the healthiest version of yourself. So I'll leave it at that. If you did enjoy today's video and you found it helpful, please be sure to give it a like. On the side here, I will leave some other videos that I think that you will love. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye, guys.